guys. I'm excited for Friday. So if you are watching me live right now, I would love for you to comment and say hi so I can say hi back. And if you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay. So this morning we are going to be talking about the one thing that I am most proud of on my personal development journey. So we're all on personal development journeys. It's part of how we grow and learn. And I think that we need to it's a good time of year. People are either setting goals or they're looking back on things that they're either proud of or things moving forward that they want to work on. And so this is the one thing on my journey so far that I have really, I'm just trying to see if I'm live here, but it's not coming up. I don't know what's happening, but we'll see. Yes, so I'm just going to keep going here because I think we'll show up at some point. So when we're talking about our personal development journeys, the one thing that I have been most proud of is my journey to self-love. So self-love is something that I didn't have. In my 20s and in my teens, I was really hard on myself, and we're our biggest critics. We all know this. But what I realized looking back now is the amount or how hard I was on myself, and how once I was able to work on all the things that I needed to, how that all changed. And now I can say that I love myself, and it doesn't matter to me my outer ways of being it's not who I am. It's just a part of me, but it doesn't define who I am, and it doesn't define if I'm worthy of love or not. It doesn't define that my love for myself is not conditional on what my body looks like. And that's a really hard lesson that I had to learn through a lot of struggle and a lot of feeling that I was a failure. Like, I thought because I wasn't able to do the things that, for example, a big part of my journey in my 20s was a weight loss journey. I had lost 80 pounds at one point, and so I kept pushing, and I was super determined to do that, and I did do that. But in the same respect, once I got to my end destination, I realized that because I thought that there was going to be this light switch that would flick on at the end of my weight loss journey to be like, okay, now you can love yourself. Check that box off, and it's just going to change. And so once I got to the end of that journey, it actually was really hard for me to accept the fact that I still felt exactly the same as I did 80 pounds heavier. That I still hated my body, that I still didn't feel worthy of being loved or loving people because of my weight. And so I let my weight define me, and it didn't help. It didn't help my relationships. It didn't help how I showed up for my work, for my kids, all those things, right? So that's kind of my biggest thing that I have grown and learned to accept and love and embrace, is that loving myself on the inside has now reflected on how I show up for my spouse, for my kids, for my job, all these things, right? And so if I could give advice to anyone who is in their 20s or on their self-love journey, is that if you are the same as me, and if you have thought that that weight loss was the key to your happiness, that just so you know that unless you are able to do the inner work alongside that outer work, that the two aren't going to align and create that end result that you're wanting, right? So yes, I think if an exercise goal is something you have, or a goal to those kind of things are great, but just being aware that your inner journey has to be alongside that journey. So doing that hard work on defining what you like, who you are and what you are, and doing that kind of background work on how you want to show up in the world. So how I did that was a lot of I have kids coming downstairs. It's that time in the morning. So how I did that was a lot of journaling. So journaling was something I got introduced to. And yeah, okay, we journaled in school and stuff like that. But I really got into journaling in a mastermind group that I did about 3 years ago, and 2 or 3 years ago. And we did a lot of going into different, like really digging deep into different parts of our journeys and how that made us feel and how we could let go of certain parts of our journey by journaling through those things, right? So journaling changed my life in such a positive way. Just by writing things down, just by going through my thoughts and kind of dumping them all out on paper. It was able to let me figure out all those things that I had in my head that weren't true. It allowed me to change my thinking to be in a place of loving my body instead of hating it. So that was a big part of my personal development journey to get me to this self-love place where I do feel so proud of where I have come. Because, for example, like looking back on how I used to be a person that I didn't feel that I was worthy of having good relationships or worthy of having people love me because of my size, knowing that those things weren't true at all. But it's funny how your mind is so powerful in the fact that it can convince you of things that are so wrong. And that, and I'm sure this happens to people who are a small size anyway, that you can still feel that same thinking in your mind of like, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough. I know both sides of like everybody feels like that, like whether you are small or big or whatever size you are. That people struggle with those inner thoughts of not feeling worthy and not feeling enough, especially women. And so I feel like if we are not able to know that the inner journey is so important, like it's more important, because I think the outer journey becomes easier if you have done that inner work, right? So journaling was a big part of it. And then I also discovered yoga, and that allowed me to become more aware of my self-love journey. Yoga, connecting your breath to your movement, allowing yourself to know that like in yoga, the destination isn't like finding that perfect pose or finding yourself in this twisted up crazy version of a pose. It's just meeting yourself at what you're able to do and accepting that and knowing that everyone does a pose differently. Like, yes, there's alignment and all these things that go into play of making sure you're doing a pose safely, but just kind of accepting that yoga taught me that anyone can do yoga. Number one, yoga is for everybody. It doesn't matter what size you are, what shape you are, what your mobility is. Yoga can be modified for you. And I think that kind of gave me the hope that yoga can be, or that anything can be, like that you just have to meet yourself where you are. Like you don't have to walk into the studio being this person that can already do everything, or why would you have to come, right? So that was kind of a big turning point for me too. A lot of the yoga stuff that I did throughout my course, and because I of course took my teacher training after I started doing yoga personally, and my teacher training taught me a lot of things about myself as well, and continues to, and it's all a practice, right? And people come to practice with you, and we all meet each other where we are, and it's pretty beautiful, right? So yoga was a big part of my journey as well, that has led me to have that self-love piece that I do now. And so kind of the other things that supported me along my journey to self-love are essential oils. So aromatherapy really helped me in a lot of ways. it helped me to support my body naturally through kind of helping to balance my hormones. It helped me to deal with emotions. It helped me to deal with like my confidence and courage and those kind of things. Since then, I've also found crystals to be really helpful to just help with guiding you on your intentions, and you're manifesting the things that you want out of life. So those are all things that have helped me on my journey so far. Like I affirmation cards and oracle cards have also helped me, just giving me that guidance from the universe to know that just guiding me on my way. And those things have helped me just kind of implant and instill good qualities on myself, and knowing that giving me that little boost of confidence as I go through life. So those are a lot of the things that have helped me, and I would just hope that anyone hearing this who is on their self-love journey, to know that the inner work is so powerful, and that is really how you're going to get to self-love. And self-love is then going to make so much of your relationships and your life come to play and kind of flourish when you're able to do that inner work first. I did a chat with a friend the other day, and her definition of self-love was that it was everything. And that actually brought me to tears, knowing that it is everything. Like, I feel like it is so powerful, and we don't give it the credit that it needs, because if we don't love ourselves, then how on earth are we going to show up for others? How on earth are we going to serve others in a way that feels passionate and right? And like, how are we going to show up for our family if we can't love ourselves? So all those things kind of, like, I feel like it's the missing puzzle piece that a lot of us tend to forget about, right? And so there's a lot of ways that I'm helping people try and discover their self-love, and in turn feeling more confident and having higher self-esteem, self-worth, all those things. So if you are on YouTube right now, I would invite you to like and subscribe to my channel, and hitting the bell to receive notifications when I go live. And if you are looking for some more support on your self-love journey, I would love to have you in my group called Imperfectly Perfect You. We are a group of women who are empowering each other to love our imperfectly perfect selves. And we do this through a lot of different holistic ways, like yoga, journaling, meditation, aromatherapy, cards, like all these things that just help us support us and help us learn to get to know ourselves, learning to love ourselves better, right? And then I do also have a couple different ways you can work with me. One of the ways being my 8-week course called Finding Your Magic. It's a journey to self-love for finding your imperfectly perfect self. So that is an 8-week course that it is half off right now. And we do go through 8 weeks of journaling, yoga, meditation, affirmations, ability to chat to me anytime that you need to have a check-in, and just kind of hold yourself accountable to going through the course, which is going to give you that sense. Through the course, we go through mindset work, confidence, self-love, creativity, setting boundaries, finding forgiveness, all these things that are going to help us do that inner work that's going to allow us to show up in the outer world in such a positive way. So, and then I offer coaching and stuff like that. So I'll give links to my website and stuff like that if you guys want to feel inclined that you'd like to work with me. And yeah, so that is all I wanted to chat to you guys about this morning. So I hope you have the best day. It is Friday, and we will see you guys next time. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.